This is gonna be a workflow tutorial. Some people were asking me about general Renoise workflow as opposed to a specific tutorial. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make like a bar or a beat, part of a track, and I'm just gonna talk about what I'm doing. Nothing really specific, but I'm gonna try to keep it kind of fast and condensed. So it's, most useful for everybody. I'm just gonna go off the top of my head and just talk about what I'm doing. 16. I'm just going 194. We just did the party at the zoo. Was playing some 194 stuff there. So I'm just gonna make something. I usually just pick a BPM and a vibe off of whatever last party we played. I'm gonna try and make something we can play at the next party. I'm gonna start off with a break for this one. Fuck it. You're gonna know what I'm working. Is that I have the there's this down here. The I don't know what the hell it's called. Step length used in pattern editing. Number. I have it hotkeyed, so you'll see it changes. You're gonna see that change. I'll talk about that in another video, but that makes editing really quick if you can flip through that number fast. Like I'm gonna flip it to really quick. I can just lay that down, but I can just flip it to 0 really quick, and then it won't change if I'm doing a specific thing. But then I can just flip it back to 2 real quick, and just if you just want to do a roll or something, enable the volume column. Usually I don't have it enabled to try and keep the track more condensed. What I find is that if you mix the track down at the very end, I read this in a Pete Parsons interview, actually, the Pete Parsons interview. He talks about how if you mix a track down as you go, if you try to mix on the track at the end, I kind of think it fucks up the vibe. So I try to kind of, as I bring the elements in, I try to think about how the other elements are going to fit in there. So I'm just going to add a high pass filter to kind of take off the bottom end of what isn't needed. So I'm going to put a fucking bass in. I might touch that up after that. That's probably about, so I can kind of listen to it and know that that chunk at the bottom I'm not going to need. It's not going to take away from the break not being there, but it's going to open up the bottom end of the track for that bass. I'm just making groups to keep things organized as I go. I'm thinking Raga. I got my Raga acapella folder. Y'all don't have SoulSeek, do you? You don't have this shit. Kind of sounds like shit. I'm not gonna use that one because if you listen to it, let's also get that fucking kick drum in there. It's gonna make it messy.
That me ear say when me auntie go there. Who does gal put more from St. Catherine? Means the gal get Eddie. You want 10 aspirin. Buff gal them come from Portland. One you can feed them you want buy sport van. No them don't want no broke man them want hustle a fi money run when the Cookland. Gal from St. Elizabeth and Falmouth. At the flattest, me ever see a gal got all sort of business. Man want conduct jump fence fi see them drop body and broke me. Them drop body and Man want conduct jump fence fi see them drop body. Drop body. The and broke and drop body.
Fuck yeah. Good little start there. That's a little, yeah, that's, okay. I'm gonna throw a maximizer right on the master. Some people critique this for mastering mixing technique, but I find that if you add a limiter at the end, it'll make it sound fucked up. And I just like the way it sounds overall. It makes mixing, and if you're doing the whole mixing and mastering thing yourself, I think it just makes it easier to throw the limiter on there first. So that's what I'm doing. So this is the pitch range, which changes, so basically, I'm just gonna do this real quick. If we just have like a, see now it's 12, if we bring this up, it's up an octave, if we bring it down, it's down an octave. But see now I changed it to 9, because when I was tweaking it, basically, if I make it smaller, the range is smaller. So when you're tweaking the pitch here, if you make the range smaller, it makes it easier to get the pitch just right. So that's why I did that. And just like I did with the amen, I'm just gonna, I know, see, look, if we look up at the spectrogram here, this is, I mean, if you know about mixing and shit, then you can just ignore this, but you know, I know that a vocal sample like that is, you know, we only need the top end. We don't need the bottom end. And but we look, you can see from the spectrogram that like it's got all the extra shit down there. You know, we don't need any of the extra crap down there. So I'm just gonna throw a high pass filter. You're gonna see me use this digital filter, the Chevisphere 4N. I like to use this for cutting out the low end. So you're gonna see me put that on a lot of the instruments. And I'm gonna add it's sounding a little bit rough than I would want it. So I'm just gonna play around with a little envelope on there just to kind of round it out a bit. I find that having a little bit of attack, not every sample, but a lot of the samples, if you just put a little attack on there, makes it sound a little less rough. Because even you're gonna see, you know, even like there's some transient aspects to how I've chopped this. You're gonna have any vocal sample, I think, needs to have some transients, but having some attack and release on between those is gonna help kind of I don't know, I sound it, make it sound a little better. And all I'm doing here is adding a little, just a little bit of stereo. So a lot of what I'm doing here is just doing, this is kind of just a mixing thing, you know. We're kind of, you see I'm have these two buses, but they're panned pretty tight, they're printed pretty hard, and so, but I'm making them a little different because otherwise when it plays in mono, now you can hear like the stereo, when we compact it to mono, it won't phase out because the each of the stereo, the right and left bus sound a little bit different. It sounds good in stereo, sounds good in mono. This tool, the stereo expander, is how you can use that's how you can switch it between stereo and mono for testing that. Sinistar showed me that actually. And then I'm just gonna go. Recently, I was just digging through the Renoise stock samples, and I'm just gonna pull a kick out of here to start using for some bass shit. Sounds good to me. Yeah, it sounds alright. I'm not super into it, but make it a little better. Maybe it'll sound better. That vocal is way too fucking loud now that I hear it. So this is just another way to mute things. This little play button next to the note. Sometimes I use it to mute things instead of just muting the actual track. It's like muting the track. That's just it just disables the note column basically. So this is where having those high pass filters comes in handy. Yep, just using this pitch envelope to get the optimal bass frequency. Yeah. So I like to use do some stuff with some parallel processing here, basically for mixing this bass. So now I have these 4 buses. Basically, what that did is it made these 4 buses, A, B, C, D. And what these will do is I can just quickly flip them up and down so I can hear different parts of. So I can enable and disable the buses as I choose. I think it makes it easier to do things like bass design and yeah. So right now I'm going to start with bus A, and I'm going to make that the sub of the bass part. So for the sub, I'm going to actually just make this, I'm going to make this sample mono. And just like we did with the vocal sample, I'm actually just going to add a little bit of attack and release. Take away that just like digital, just like grittiness. And then so I'm gonna a little peek here, you know, and I was we're at Cantab Lounge on Saturday. I was looking at the spectrogram at the club. I was looking at a lot of shit at 50 hertz, so that's just kind of what I got in my head right now. I'm gonna go ahead and just try and boost this up around 50 hertz. Now I'm gonna add some compression to it. There's the compressor and the bus compressor. Compressor is better for making things. You can read a description on the Renoise website, but for this, just for this, I'm going to use the compressor instead of the bus compressor. I'm trying to make it just a little more, make it fill it out, you know. Down here, I'm going to hear how sub sounds with the rest of the shit. So now what I'm gonna do is, now that I have the sub, I'm gonna add a little mid-range to this. So I usually have this bus. I'm gonna make this the left hand. I wish I used a sample that had a little more grit to it than just this. This is just a fucking sine wave, you know. But I could have picked something that had a little more interesting texture. But this will do, I suppose. So I'm just gonna shape this a bit, basically, because I already have. Look at this. This is what the sub does. The sub is doing, you know, the 50 to the sub is occupying this shit. So what I'm trying to do is float that mid-range with some stuff that, you know, I only want this to be in mono. Now I'm gonna work on that mid-low range stereo. So that's why I have this bus pan all the way to the left. I'm gonna use the left side. I'm gonna do the right side. While kind of keeping away from the sub. I'm actually gonna high pass this one in a bit. You might be able to hear it. I'm not sure what kind. If you're listening to some good headphones, you could hear that. You know, when I enable, disable, keeps it from muddying up. What's the good? You know, keep this mid range. Keep this mid-range stereo element out of the mono sub. So that sounds pretty good. I'm actually gonna, let's do a little, take away I'm hearing some high frequencies. I don't really want to be there. And you know, this is how it's gonna be now, but I'll probably come back later and fill it in a little more after we have some more elements going on the track. But this is just little starters. So now I got my right hand. So now I'm gonna do the left. I'm gonna do the other side. and but I'm gonna make the distortion a little different because, like I talked about before, with the stereo imaging, and just if you make a right and a left hand bus the same, when it goes down in mono, it'll phase out. So this will make it sound cool in stereo, but also will sound good in mono too. So I'm gonna use like a bit crusher and some distortion for this one, I think. So this little 8 X on the distortion, I don't really know exactly what it does. It seems like it reduces some aliasing, it says, and you can highlight it, and it says in the description. It'll reduce aliasing but use up a little more CPU, and so I always just click it, although I usually can't even hear the difference, but it says it prevents some aliasing, so I assume at some point it's worth it, I guess. I don't know. Definitely plenty of tracks where it's not enabled. So same thing, I'm just gonna use the EQ to shape this out a bit, and then do a little high cut, keep it out of the sub. Fucking make it real boomy. Who fucking cares? Who cares, man? I don't care what's going on in the picture. Just use your ears, man. Nobody. I've heard people shit on the fucking Renoise EQ. The Renoise EQ is fucking beast. Love this shit. Can't touch that shit. Ableton's got that one where it's got the EQ it's got like the spectrogram in the EQ. I don't think it's, people just do the same fucking shit where they don't use their ears, they just fucking, they just bump up where the spectrogram, it's, or maybe it's not everybody, but I like this. I put the two of them together. Yeah, I'm not really feeling it a whole lot, but hey, this is just a tutorial. I'm not really fucking with the arrangement, honestly. I feel like the elements are kind of cool, but I feel like I need to add some other elements in here to kind of solidify it. It's not really also the amen is just not really pulling its fucking weight. This is where I'm gonna add some, like the amen and the fucking bass are cool, but I need some fucking, need some hats. I need a fucking snare drum to really, keep everything, just like totally locked in. Gonna go into a little Kevo sample pack. Yeah. This one's sampled from a Rock Raider. The Rock Raider CD. feel like I want to keep leaning in my chair a weird way, but I feel like it's gonna fuck the camera up. Okay, I guess that's all right. Zoom in on my fucking face. I like doing this. You got the pan. Do a step. Some logic with the pan. I was showing this to DJ Chain Wallet last time I was in Oregon. Shout out to Chain Wallet. Fucking dirty. You know, you can always just edit the sample yourself. You know, there's all these basic I like to add a group for just my basic drums that I know are going to be in multiple parts of the song, where I feel like, say I have these called Squeak 30 and Breaks 30, so that'll be like section 30. So when I make a new section, those parts won't appear, but this hi-hat, this closed hi-hat will. You'll see it'll make sense when I add another part. I'm gonna open up the bow sample pack. It's good fucking DNB shit. Fuck yeah. Yeah, y'all never heard a 194 roller, huh? I'm gonna layer with this stuff another sample, and I'm gonna do the same, my little same thing here where you kind of put the macro on the volume for the bus, and that gives you just a little switch, so you can just flick it up and down. I do that so much. Yeah. And go into this Reddit trap sample pack. Reddit's got some good sample packs. Anybody needs some? I mean, maybe I should use the wolf, huh? Let's go. See, now I got the macro. I can just see what that sample sounds like with it and without the sample, the other sample layered onto it. Yeah, it's a little. I don't know, it's a little. I don't know if it really works with like the roller vibe, but let's see. I'm gonna make a second. So these are the sets, basically, in the modulation. Each one of these is essentially like a macro bus. So see the samples, I have the samples over here. I'm gonna go to the torque snare, it's gonna go on my second macro bus. So if this is sample A and this is sample B, see I have the like the effect and like the, you know, the effect bus, but this is the modulation bus. So here's, you get the volume, the pan, the pitch. You get different for every sample. So if I want to change this, like I can make the pitch modulation of this sample different from the other sample. Super useful. Especially for shit like that, you know. See, like now I can solo that one easily. And fucking zero in on that shit. That's fun. You can hear the fucking fan of my laptop going ham. And the fucking, I got the mic. Yep, so if you hold down control and then you scroll with your mouse, you can change how big this is. Or you can just do this. I usually just keep it as small as it is, because, like, I don't know. What do you need with that shit? Fucking stupid. Alright. I'm actually not fucking with this A, man. Weak as fuck. There's some breaks in here, I just, you know, I don't know. Let's get this one. Yeah, so it kind of sounds like shit, but I feel like it's a bit of an example of a workflow. But I'm just gonna keep going. I don't give a shit. Maybe the amen just doesn't work here, you know? Let's see. Someone told me I use the hot pants break too much. Fuck you. Yeah, fucking hot pants break, son. Let's go. If you think I use the hot pants break too much, you're a fucking hater. Man. Come on, it's a fucking roller. Come on now. Come on now. Yeah, man. That's what's up. Yeah, see that arrangement? Not. But we had to use that arrangement to get the fucking, you know, bring the parts together. I'm actually, maybe we'll use this amen for some other well, maybe we'll make this like the fill, you know. Let's see what we can do with that. You know, the thing is that I have this kind of like theory that when you bring the element into the vibe, like if you just delete the element, then like the element's there and it's like part of the vibe. If you get rid of it, you know, you're kind of missing like what sometimes like you're kind of taken away from the synergy that the other things are built in on. So I'm not quick to just delete sounds. Like we have this, we brought the AMN in for a reason. So I think I need a fill to kind of break this part up. So I'm gonna use the amen that I'm not gonna end up using for that. I'm gonna actually make a little intro. Cause I know that what I want to do with the intro to this part, which is what I found is this is kind of a tip off of I love fixate, and a lot of times I find that so like if I was gonna play this tune in a mix with some other tunes, having the vocal part first, like this part will when I'm doing the mix, this part will come in and it'll lay over the other track, and then when this part drops, it'll just hit harder because people already heard it with the other tune. And I'm actually gonna make a Hydra for this. I have no idea who else does this. I kind of just made it up. You can use these Hydras to modulate things. These Hydras are fucking awesome. They're just like Logic. You can just like draw lines with them and then, you know, just attach macros to them. It's incredible. Big time Logic stuff. Not like the DAW, just like the concept of, you know, just Logic and shit. So I want this part to fade in. And so what happens is with Renoise, if you do things like, you can just look, so there's a reason I do this, and so if we want to bring the volume in of this instrument, and I could come here and I could go mixer volume, and then it would fade in. But what's that is doing is all we're doing is that's just like a little built-in macro with like see, every track has a little head like this, which is just panning volume and width. I don't like doing that because you can see when we drew that in the pattern matrix, do you see, like when you're editing stuff here, do you see when I did that, it added that? So that means it's modulated. But now we can't, that's like baked in to what this is. Like I can't delete that without deleting the notes I put there. But so what I like to do, so fuck that shit. I like to be able to edit the modulation in as well as the pattern separately. So what I do is I put the modulation in its own track. I make a separate track and I put a Hydra in, and that's how I do the modulation. I think it's way better than I don't modulate this at all. I don't use this at all. So I have this Hydra. It's gonna fade in. And I can change this. I can change this path after. But what I'm just doing with this right now is I'm gonna have the. So I'm gonna make. I'm gonna make a 20 to match my 20 for the Hydra. Add a macro. Yeah, so what I did there basically is, so there's this effect. It's technically, I guess it's like Renoise has this section of the effects called the meta, which is basically, it's all for just routing. Like I don't know how else to explain it. But this synth heads will know what I'm saying. Just like it's like kind of it's control voltage within Renoise, like you just have this data, like look, like, you know, I mean, I drew this line from, it goes from 0 to 100 in that time domain, and then I can route that anywhere. And so what this does is, so I have this macro within the instrument. Remember we did this, we mapped it to the volume. Then this macro, this instrument macro makes the macros of the instrument visible within the track editor. And then in the track, and then so here in the track editor, we can use the Hydra to modulate it. I know that's, if you don't know anything about Renoise, it's kind of, it might be a little tough to grasp, but I can't explain it simpler. You can always download the Renoise files from my tracks from my Bandcamp, and take a peek and dig it up if this isn't making any sense to you. But also what we can do here, which I like, because when you modulate things in the volume here, I don't know, man, like I don't fuck with it. Like look, so now when I have this here, I can define the parameters for where the 20 is. So I can just slowly edge this up to how quiet I want it to be when it starts fading in. You can get way more accurate with the details doing it this way too, I feel. I do everything like this. Fucking, we're just gonna make the hi-hat come in like that too. Who cares? Might be a little unnecessary, but I like adding little details like this. I think it gives the track a little more character. And for the intro, I'm also just gonna make a little add some atmosphere. I've been doing field recordings with my phone, so just take something. Take some random fucking shit. This is me walking. I'm at work. Motorcycle in the fucking background. I don't like this click right here. I'm gonna start it a little later. So I'm gonna make a division point right there. I think just feels right. I'm actually gonna change this to fit that division point. Yeah, look, so now I can just edit my how long it takes my elements to fade in instead of having the macro baked in to where my pattern editor is. I can just edit it separately. It's such a superior way of programming it. Yep, I'm gonna come up to here. I'm gonna use this. So it kind of sounds cool because now I can just fade in just one of the drum elements, not both of them. I think it sounds cool that way. I know people came here to see me make a track, and then they just see me editing the fucking intro for an hour. Real shit. And then I'm gonna make another instrument path. So I know I number these things. I'll explain how I number things later. It wouldn't make sense for me to explain it now. You just watch me do it. Okay, 12. And so what I'm gonna do with the ambient is I'm gonna press this thing called auto seek. So when auto seek is disabled, you'll see the ambient starts here, and ideally it's gonna play out through this whole time domain until I have the note off down here. But if you start it here, you don't hear any ambient because when this part that I play, there's no trigger to start the ambient sample, even though we want it to be there in our concept. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press the auto seek button, and what that does is it kind of it lets the program know that if the sample like should be playing there, it will simulate as if it had been. So now we hear it, if that makes sense. Just press the auto seek if you have a long sample and you want it to be in the whole area without triggering that area when you're playing back. Okay, I have this 10 modulator that I want to do with doing the same thing, making the instrument macro, pairing it with this Hydra. Oops, not the one I want. So kind of what I did before, you saw the pitch domain. Now I'm making it bigger because I care less about the accuracy and I want a wider range. I want the sample to start off. Now I'm going to use the 20 to have it fade in. I know, it's like, yeah, sorry if this mic has there's some noise in my room, and the mic is picking up the noise, so apologies. It's really, I think the noise is really just coming from my laptop. It's like the fan on my laptop. So I had the macro, and I'm going to map this macro to here. Oops, not what I wanted. Okay, no. Snare roll. It's time for a snare roll. Back to the Reddit trap sample pack. I feel like there was a there's like a Young Dolph song I'm gonna use a sample of. Okay, so I've got this Young Dolph sample. I've got the song here. I need to
hold the plug on the mid and big time. Told you I was a dad like the rest, so it is big, then I suck them like I'm teething. Yeah, still her titties big, then I suck on my niggas greasy. Her titties big, then I suck them like I'm teething. Yeah, greasy. Her titties big, then I suck them like I'm teething. Yeah, still got the her titties big, then I suck them like I'm teething. Her titties big, then I suck them like I'm teething. Her titties big, then I suck them like. Her titties big, then I suck them like I'm teething. Her titties big, then I suck them like I'm teething. Titties big, then I suck. Titties big, then I suck 'em. Titties big, then I suck 'em. Titties big, then I suck 'em. Big, then I suck 'em like I'm big. Then I suck 'em like I'm big. Then I suck 'em like. Titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Teething. Still got. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still got the plug on the mid in Phoenix. Yeah, I'm. Still got the plug on the mid in Phoenix. Yeah, yeah. Her titties big, then big, then her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Yeah, still teething. Yeah, still got. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Yeah, still got the plug on the mid in Phoenix. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
Still got the plug on.
It's a YouTube tutorial, okay. You know. Chill out, alright?
Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still got.
I don't know. I'm gonna leave it for now, okay? Just gonna leave it for now.
Her titties big, then I suck 'em like.
Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
Doesn't sound as good when it's pitched up, you know? I figure it was slower.
Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still got. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still
It's a little too. It needs like a Yoshi sample, you know.
big, then I big, then I suck, big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething, 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 teething. Still teething, big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I.
Okay.
Yes.
No. Oops. PK Frost.
Oh yeah, this is Smash Melee. PK Frost.
PK Frost. PK Fire.
Yeah.
Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
PK
Still
Fire.
big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
PK
Thunder's better.
PK Fire. PK Thunder.
Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
PK
Still big, then I
Thunder.
suck 'em. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
PK
Still
Thunder.
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 teething.
PK
Teething.
PK
Still
Thunder.
teething.
PK
Still
Thunder. PK Thunder.
Anyway.
PK Thunder.
teething.
PK
Still
Thunder.
teething.
PK
Still
Thunder.
teething.
PK
Teething.
PK
Still
Thunder.
teething.
PK
Still
Thunder.
teething.
thunder.
teething,
Peak is
still
thunder.
teething,
Peak is
still
thunder.
teething,
Peak is
still
thunder.
Yeah, I realize I'm not really saying anything, but I don't really care.
her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
Peak is
Still
thunder.
her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still
Yeah, I don't know about the Dolph sample. I want to use a. I think there was a different sample that I had was better. Yep, right there.
her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like big, then I big, then I big, then I suck 'em.
Woo!
Big, big, then I suck 'em like
I'll use that.
Here we go!
big, then I suck 'em big, then I
Here we
suck 'em like I'm teething.
Peak is, peak is,
Whoa! Yeah. Yeehaw! Wow!
Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
peak is, peak is.
Ooh, 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 let's go!
Big, then I suck 'em like I'm. Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
Peak is
Still
thunder.
Let's go! Let's go!
big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
Peak is
Still
thunder.
her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
Peak is
Still
thunder.
No, you can't. Okay, well I guess I am gonna delete this A, man. Fuck this shit. I'm keeping this fireball around.
Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Her titties big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still
That's fucking weird. Yeah, that's crazy hand for sure. Get some fucking. Okay. Nobody copy me. I'm putting crazy hand at the beginning of my song.
big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
PK Thunder!
I'm just gonna put the same shit on this onto Mario. Fuck it.
Big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething. Still big, then I suck 'em like I'm teething.
Hate me. Hate me. Okay.